Hello and welcome to Unacademy IAS. The Ministry of Commerce and Industry yesterday has announced change in the base year for WPI and also introduction of Producer Price Index. What are the important changes? Let's decode them. Before I start, here's a very important announcement. The Unacademy IAS courses right now are available at a discounted price of 19,999. Those interested in enrolling, do check out the details by clicking on the link provided in the description below. And whatever is the price mentioned in the website, use the code IAS English to get the discounted price and also get an extension of up to 6 months free of cost. Let me begin the discussion. We mainly use two types of indicators to measure inflation. One is the CPI, Consumer Price Index, which measures inflation in the retail market, and the second one is Wholesale Price Index, which measures the changes in the price levels of basket of goods in the wholesale market. For the first time, the WPI was introduced back in the year 1942 with the base year of 1939. And this particular base year has been revised several times after this. To be precise, if you exclude the yesterday's change in the base year, earlier 7 times the base year has been revised by the government. The last time the base year was revised was back in the year 2017 when the government chose the year 11 and 12 as the base year. And yesterday the government has announced that this base year will be replaced with the latest base year or the new base year that will be 2022 and 2023. Now, in addition to change in the base year, whenever this kind of an exercise is conducted by the government, they will also change the composition of the basket. What are the important changes in the basket? Let's understand them. Earlier, 697 goods were considered in the basket, which were divided into three groups. The grouping has been maintained the same, but certain changes have been done within the group. The number of items now has been increased to 957 or changed to 957, and the weightages also have been changed. The one group which was earlier given the highest weightage, it is the same group even today, manufactured items. The weightage that was given was 64.2% earlier. This has been reduced to 63.1%. The second major group is primary articles. Earlier, it was given a weightage of 22.6%. Now it has been changed to 22.7%. And the third, the group which has been given the lowest weightage, is basically the fuel and power. Earlier, it was given the weightage of 13.1%. Now it has been increased to 14.11%. Please remember the number of items in each of the group along with the weightages along with the overall number of items covered in the basket. Potential question for exams. Now, in addition to these changes, what are the other important changes? Point number one, the basket has been expanded to cover certain important items currently which are being promoted by the government of India, such as solar, wind, nuclear power, etc. Point number two, the crude petroleum and natural gas. Earlier, these were covered or listed under the group called as primary articles. Out of three groupings, one of the group is primary articles. So these two products were earlier listed under primary articles. Now these two have been shifted to another grouping, that is fuel and power group. This has been done in order to ensure that all these energy items will be covered under one item group. Third important change, the weights that will be decided or the weights that have been decided now under the new basket have been decided based on the gross value of output, GVO. Earlier, the weights were decided based on the net traded value. This has been done in order to ensure that based on the importance of these particular products in the market, and that is decided by looking at how much is the total value of the production or the output of these particular products. So gross value of output is being considered to determine the weightages of these particular products. Fourth very important change is the series will continue to use chain-based computation and targeted mean imputation for missing prices. Now, what is this idea of chain-based computation methodology? Let's say you are reading the newspaper And in the newspaper, the data for the month of April is published. Let's say April 2026 inflation data is published. How do you derive this particular inflation rate for the month of April? You're simply comparing the April 2026 basket prices with April 2025 basket prices. Simple. That is, year on year comparison is done, and this is basically called as a chain based computation methodology. So these are the very important changes that the Ministry of Commerce and Industry has announced in the context of Wholesale Price Index. But in addition to this, there was one more very major announcement. The government has stated that along with the WPI, we are now going to publish even PPI. Different types of PPIs are there, we will discuss. Over a period of time, that is in the next 5 years, we are going to publish WPI as well as PPI. And after 5 years, once the PPI has got stabilized, we are going to discontinue Wholesale Price Index altogether and start using PPI. Now, what is this basic idea for PPI? PPI, first and foremost, stands for Producer Price Index. It basically measures the changes in the prices that are paid by producers. So, under PPI, now there will be three indices or three indicators published. One will be Output PPI. In short, it will be called as OPPI. Trial Input PPI, that will be referred to as a IPPI. And the third one is the Service PPI. The Service PPI will be published on quarterly basis, and I'll tell you the list of the services which will be included to begin with. But the fundamental idea is we are going to publish now the Output PPI as well as the Input PPI. What's a basic idea? What's a basic difference between both of them? That is WPI and PPI. Let me explain all of it. The Output PPI will basically measure the prices that the producers receive on the sale of their produce. What is the meaning of it? Let's assume I'm a manufacturer of this particular pen. I will sell this particular pen in the market at, let's say, 20 rupees. The price of the pen when I sell it could be 20, but out of 20 rupees, I'm not going to receive all the 20 rupees only to myself. There will be taxes, there will be subsidies, there will be transportation cost, there will be trade margin. I will have to exclude all of it. And once I exclude all of it, what I receive is basically the price that will be considered for the calculation of Output PPI. So the Output PPI will help measure the prices received by the producers after excluding net tax as well as the trade and transportation margin. Right? And in addition to this, in calculation of Output PPI, to begin with, we will publish considering 125 items in the basket. And over a period of time, once the WPI will be discontinued, the basket will be expanded to cover 1500 items. This is Output PPI. What about Input PPI? The Input PPI will simply measure the price that the refiner or let's say the producer will pay while buying the particular product. I've used a specific example here, but let me take the same example of a pen. In order to manufacture this particular pen, I will purchase certain inputs. So what is the price that I pay on the inputs? That will be considered in the calculation of the Input PPI. And mind you, the price that I pay when I purchase the inputs will be including of taxes, right, other things, margins, etc. So while calculating Input PPI, all of these are considered. While calculating the Output PPI, all of these, that is the net taxes, trade margins, transportation, etc., will be excluded. And the importance of this is very simple. If I take into consideration the prices that I pay on the inputs and also the prices that I receive on the output, that will give me a very good indication of how the prices of the outputs are changing, how the prices of the basket of goods and services are going to change in the coming days. That's the reason globally, including the recommendation of IMF, by the way, the Producer Price Index is the most favorite indicator or the most used indicator to identify the changes in the price levels. The advanced economies, especially within the G20 grouping, such as USA, Japan, Germany, UK, etc., all these countries are actually using the Producer Price Index. And in the context of India, The producer price index was initially recommended by a committee, Abhijit Sen committee. The Abhijit Sen committee back in the year 2003 had recommended that we must shift to the PPI. The government of India finally in the year 2014 set up a committee, BN Goldar committee. This committee gave certain set of recommendations. Government of India did not implement it. Later, in December 2024, the government of India set up one more committee, that is Ramesh Chand committee. Right? So these particular changes are based on the committee recommendations. Now, in addition to the input PPI and output PPI, there will also be a service PPI, Services Producer Price Index. It will have 7 services and will be published on quarterly basis. These are banking, securities transaction, the insurance, management of pension funds, railways, air passenger, as well as the telecom. So these are the 7 sectors or 7 services that will be included in the services PPI. And one more very important change, please make a note of this. The new PPI framework is being built on supply use tables. And the usage of supply use tables has also been done by the government of India when it made the changes regarding the new GDP measurement. The supply use table basically will consist of all the items that have been brought into India or sourced from the domestic market, how they will be distributed, whether these products will be used as intermediary goods, whether these will be used as inputs or will be sold directly to the consumer. And if these are used as intermediary, what is the output produced? Will it be supplied in the domestic market or exported to the international market, etc.? All of this information is provided under supply use table. And that's the reason in the methodology of GDP, the government of India has adopted the usage of supply use tables in order to address and minimize the discrepancy component. Same supply use table now will be used in the calculation of producer price index as well. So in addition to this, those who are having a doubt now, how WPI is different from the PPI, because the government of India historically has been saying this statement. The PPI is very close to the output PPI is very close to the idea of a WPI in India. But anyways, how WPI and PPI vary? What is the difference between them? These are the most important ones. First one, WPI faces an issue that is called as a double counting bias. We want to address that by using PPI. What is the basic idea for double counting bias? In case of WPI, let's say one component that will be considered will be crude, and another item that will be considered for the calculation of WPI will be petrol. The problem in this particular case is crude is the raw material, petrol is the output. So when you're counting these two products, you are basically going for double counting, right, in measuring the changes in the prices. Whereas in case of PPI, we address this particular problem. For example, instead of counting this separately and treating both of these as separate entities or different products, how about using an industry approach where all these particular companies which are connected to each other will be considered as an industry and the output from this industry is considered. So in case of WPI, there's a double counting bias. In case of PPI, we will be addressing this. Second, the biggest problem with the WPI, even though it is one of the oldest indicators in India, in measuring WPI, we take a basket. The basket has only goods. Whereas in case of India, if you look at the contribution of services sector to GDP, it is more than 55%. So one of the biggest criticisms related to usage of WPI is the fact that it does not include the services. Whereas in case of PPI, the basket has both goods as well as services. And like I said earlier, PPI has been recommended by International Monetary Fund. It has been used as a measure of inflation in many of these particular advanced economies. So these are some of the reasons which have been cited by the government of India to shift from the measurement of WPI to PPI over a period of time. Like I said, the government now has given a timeline of 5 years, and after 5 years, we would be discontinuing WPI and continuing with only PPI. So these are the very important points, concepts associated with these two announcements done by the Ministry of Commerce and Industry yesterday. Now, based on this, here is an MCQ. Please solve the MCQ and tell me what is the correct answer to this question in the comment section of the video. If you have liked the discussion that I've done so far and if you have benefited from this, do not forget to hit the like button. And if you're yet to subscribe to our YouTube channel, kindly do it right now. Thank you. Have a great day.